Right, so, welcome back. It's been a while. I'm James, one of the founder and one of the leaders of the Bad Omen Guild here on the European Ragnarok Online server. So today we're gonna be making a guide about Zenys, right? An intermediate one, because we made a beginner one a while back and apparently a lot of people enjoyed that. So this has been requested and it's long overdue. Now, this is going to be a very long one, so I would advise getting a drink now or, well, waiting till it's over really, or pause. Well, I guess you can pause, that's fine too. Now, before we get going, this will be under the premises that you're not willing to spend real money and that you are third job. You will either have to be third job to be able to do this effectively, or bring a friend, or, well, both, I suppose. Anyways, having said that, also before we start this, there's another thing I would like to say about this whole thing, Zeny. Now, with all the things that I will be telling and showing you here today, please, and I'm telling you to please just don't price war each other and ruin the market, because if you all start farming these things and selling them, and then destroying the market by undercutting each other repeatedly, they will sell. Just give it time, or at least don't undercut. Like if somebody's doing 40k, don't do 30k and then 20 and so on. Do 39 if you want to undercut. There's just no point in everybody loses out on when the market crashes. Because the thing is, like, people can afford it, right? They just how do you put this? They're just trying to be stingy. Okay, there are people with hundreds of billions of Zeny and they don't mind spending it. So make sure you get paid for your efforts, really. But first, before we get into materials and foods and all that, some people asked me, is there any way you can farm things and vendor them? The answer to this is yes. There are a couple of spots. Now, in Renewal, it's not... Well, actually, it's not Renewal based, it's more the fact that the server is super inflated with Zenys, which is why a lot of items are very expensive. Well, they seem very expensive, but they're really not. Because cards are like, I mean, AS card is like 80 to 100 million easily. So, it's just inflation, really. Now, we're gonna be basing this starting from Frontera. Now, I have the VIP badge, so... But I will not be using that, because obviously if you're a new player or you're not Infinity, you're gonna have to take the old-fashioned route. So, starting off with, we're gonna visit a couple of places that you can sell loot for money to the vendors. So, first you have to get yourself to Juno, which is probably going to end up being the Bad Omen Guild Town. Now, we picked Komodo, but it appears that it does not meet the requirements for what we need it to be doing. So, you warp to Geffen, and then you go Aldebaran, and then from Aldebaran you can go to Juno. Now, either way, I would highly suggest saving in Juno, because it has so many things. Right, so we're in Juno. I'm just gonna make it a starting point just so you guys can see, right? Now, the first place we're going to visit. Now, the thing is, you should have invested into a bravery bag. It doesn't even have to be +9, it could be +7, it could be +5, it can... Well, you should probably have a +7 at least. Or there's gonna be a lot of clicking, because you're gonna need a greed skill. Which I'm not using for some reason. I have the bravery bag on, and the greed is on the... Oh wait, you can't greed in town, okay, that makes sense. So, this is Juno. Warper person, then you can go to all kinds of places. So, having said that, let's move on. Now, the first place we're going to visit is Magma Dungeon. Now, wait, do I have teleport on there? I do, okay. So you go south from Juno. Hopefully your loading screens will not be as long as mine. And then, oops. And from Juno you take and go east. Now, as I said, you should be level 100 for this, or 99 at the very least, and reborn to 3rd class. Sorry, reborn and then transcended 3rd class? Changed to 3rd... Whatever, really, the point remains. You should be 3rd class. Like, Guillotine Cross Ranger, so on. Now, where we want to go on the map is here. Eventually. I have the worst luck with teleports. I can find MVP cards, but I can't... Okay, I guess this is close enough. But I can't teleport for shit. Now, you want to use a fire armor. And you also want to use, if you have access to it, holy element, like holy cannonballs. If you don't, water, I suppose is okay, but I would still not recommend it because you will only be dealing more damage to the mobs that die really fast anyway, so either holy or no element at all. But fire armor is crucial. Now we're here at level 1. So we're just gonna run up to level 2. Now we're gonna do this just a few minutes and then I'm gonna go back and then you can see exactly how much money we made in a small amount of time. Now granted, this will be faster for me because I'm 175. It also depends on spawn rates. As you can see, there's a lot of mobs. I'm not actually wearing a fire armor at the moment. Well, maybe, I don't know. So you kill, you loot, you move on. Actually, I need 2 cannonballs so we would kill them. Like, you should invest into a creamy clip, or well, you can grind one, then you don't have to buy it. But the thing is, they're fairly cheap. So, but yeah, you can grind one. So we're gonna do this for a few minutes. I'm just gonna show you exactly. Now, like we discussed in the Zeny guide for beginners, you should be having a merchant to overcharge all these items. Now, all of these items will weigh like 1, I believe. I could be mistaken, but I think it's like 1. So, lifesteal gear like a Thanatos weapon later is advised as well. Now, there's another upside to this. If you're just if you're just changing into 3rd class, this place is great for XP. It's actually my main leveling spot from level 100 to 100 and... Oops, that was... I fucked up on that one. From level 100 to like 115, depending on... I mean, if we have a no penalty event, you can actually stay until like 140 or something. Well, okay, maybe not 140. Ah! Okay. But yeah. Apparently the pathing is a bit strange. But yeah, like lifesteal gear and like an immune. I would recommend for all new players, really, and for everyone who's looking to grind. Since I assume you don't have a Deviling card, and even if you did, this would be a horrible place to use it. Unless you're using a fire armor, of course. Anyway, so we loot all of these things for just a few minutes. Now granted, it might take you longer, but Rangers should be able to one-shot here at decent levels pretty fast. GXs can just roll in cutter the way to victory. What other classes? Mechanic can do decently. Genetic, obviously. You don't have to face tank them, you can just, as you can see, there's so much loot. There's some other people there doing some stuff. But yeah, EXP wise is actually great as well. I love this song so much. The fly away thing. Such a great remix. Now this is the lowest of the 3 places I'm gonna show you for grinding Zenys. I'll be visiting the town to sell everything between just to... Now, if you play a genetic and you get yourself a Sera, these will hit you for 1, literally. Shield-wise, Valk Shield with like... is it a... no, it's not Brood Dragons, yeah? I think it's like with the Petite card or whatever. Like, I'm using a Resistant right now because I'm lazy, which is like 15% everything. But you can get like 30% easily from a shield plus the Valk Shield. And then a fire armor, like a volcano armor, is pretty cheap. Now if you want to be like, you just want to keep going and going and going, things like a Thanatos weapon with a Hunterfly card, Rightward Hat, and so forth. Now these can steal your SP a little bit though, so some SP leech is, well, I'm not gonna say essential, but you should probably have it. Also they drop blue potions and blue herbs and all kinds of stuff. We're gonna go through the loot as soon as we're done. Just gonna do a couple more laps. to give you guys an idea of how much money can be made here very fast. Now, granted, this is not the most effective way to make Zeny. It is a way to make Zeny, and it's pure profit because everything you loot and sell, it's like there's no reselling, there's no market demands. Oh, a card, okay then. Obviously, since this place is very farmed, the cards are not really valuable. Some of them are fairly useful though. Like, there's an explosion card here that gives you extra XP from... is it Brute? No. I'm gonna have to look that up, but yeah, basically, anyway, so we're gonna kill some more of these things, and then we're gonna move on. I did warn you this was gonna be a long one, so... Now keep in mind, my genetic is taking way more damage than most people would because I only have 31 vitality. So don't mind about my health pool and damage. I'm basically pure damage build. As you can see, there's a lot of loot. Right, okay. So how about like 2 or 3 more packs and then we'll go in Windsor. You can see what I'm talking about. Let's just kill this and we'll go back. So we've been here for just a few minutes, gotten some stuff. Let's use a B-wing if I have one somewhere. There. Alright, I've saved in Komodo. Well, actually, that doesn't matter. We can just... Okay, so we go to the vendor, and we're gonna vendor all the things we just found. First, we're gonna ID them though, because there might be some stuff that is useful. No, okay, all of these things is just for vendor. If you find Catars, they can be infiltrators, and then you can try and slot them, and they have quite a nice value, or you can use them. Anyway, so we're there for a few minutes, right? And then we're gonna go to the tool dealer, and we're gonna sell everything we just found. See? Now... What the... Oh. Now, some of these items I would not recommend selling to the vendor, but I'm just gonna show you the value of the items that we just picked up. So, in just a few minutes, we looted items worth 418,000 Zeny. Now, it might not sound like much, but if you spend, say, an hour or two there... But also, this isn't the entire value, because there are certain items that you can sell to players. For example, blue potions can be sold for like 20 to 30k. And then you have the herbs here, like the blue and the white herbs, they can be sold as well. Now, this might not sound like much, but if you do 10 of these runs, that's 4 million plus all the EXP. So it's definitely worth looting, but I would recommend having a braver bag to be able to do this. Anyways, so this is the first one. Yep, so we just resell this. Okay, going to second place. Now, the second place on the list is Juperos. Now, you might think, what? Juperos? But no, just wait. Now, this is a natural, like, natural transition, sorry, from Magma dungeon, because once you're like level 116 and above, I guess would be okay. Or rather, when you have like high vitality, so prepare. I'm probably gonna get stunned a lot in Juperos now because, well, I guess I'll just use a buff food because my vitality is not very high. Now vitality, as we know it, reduces stun. Just have to take the long way. We actually have to go back to Juno and almost to Magma dungeon again because, well, Juperos is close by, so. I am gonna save in Juno, just so... Now the thing is, like, the only reason I'm doing these 3 places for the money first. Now, there is another place called Gefenia, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's a long ass question to get there, and it's just a pain in the ass, and it's just, it's not worth the time and effort to get it. Alright, so we go to Juno. We're just gonna save her now to make it easier. So we've saved her. Now we're back in Juno. Now, and actually I just lent out the thingy, but no matter. Right, so originally you would want to use a Penumena shield because they're formless apparently. Again, there's no specific element in Juperos, so anything with extra health or damage, I guess, is fine. So you teleport again. And there's an Archangeling. Okay, we can just kill him while we're here. Well, that was fun. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, there's an Archangeling that spawns in this field. I never really pay attention to him, because Right, so you can take the bottom one or the top one, it doesn't really matter. The bottom one is down there and the top one is up here. To the east. Now, as you can see, we're back to the field where we were for Magma Dungeon. But we're not going to Magma Dungeon, we're going to Juperos, which is south. See, we're south here. Now, this doesn't require any form of quest or anything like that. Find yourself on this map. Now, again, this is a great place for EXP. You go into the middle here. And you go up on the staircase. You go into this portal. Camera's a bit wonky in this area. It's a tiny area, so don't worry. This isn't where we're gonna be leveling. Or killing. Right, and then you go into this portal. Now we're at Juperos. Now, there are mobs of all kinds. I would not recommend using any elements at all here, because some are fire, some are wind, some are earth, some are water, and so on. So you gather up these little bastards, right? See them? Now there's the ranged ones as well. These are a huge pain in the ass. So you kill these. Now, I don't have the proper gear for this. That's why it looks... It is very painful, I will admit that. But yeah, you basically... So you kill these and you take their loot. Now with the GX or something like that, you can just lifesteal. I don't have any lifesteal on my genetic because, well... We need to find, yeah, teleporting. I love Juperos. It's one of my favorite places to level as well, because there's just so many mobs and they're just so, well, they also sound funny when they die. The Dimics, you need to watch out for them because, well, I know a lot of people when they level, they don't actually loot anything because they think it's not worth any money. Now, you can do that, but I wouldn't recommend it. Now I'm using Thornwall. Actually, very few genetics I see who use this skill, because I'm not sure if they're just too lazy or if they just feel like it's useless or whatever it might be. It's a great way to keep mobs off you. Obviously it doesn't work with ranged mobs. So I'm just gonna do this for a little bit to show you that the vending is actually worth it. Now, this is great for EXP all the way up to like 124 as well. Don't worry, this guide isn't just gonna be about farming Zenys from mobs. But it's just, I was asked for it, so I was gonna show a couple of places. For people who don't want to farm materials and deal with other players. God, this is looking for my poor genetic. I really need to get myself my Sarah. Because my build is centered around having the Sarah, and when I don't have it, well, as you can see, I'm taking a lot of damage. Your results may vary if you're wearing proper gear for this. I'm not, I'm even wearing Greedy Frog in a teleport clip. I might think, but I'm wearing greedy for. Yeah, but most of these items are 100% drop chance anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like, if you're wearing sustain, like Rideward hats or majestic evil horns or whatever you might fancy, your results would vary quite a bit from mine. Alright, okay, this is all the punishment I can take for now. We've looted some different stuff here. Did I actually send in June or did I not? I think I did. Well, I guess we'll find out. I did. Well, that's great. Okay, so we're gonna go in and vendor these things. Now, Juperos for farming Zeny was actually advised to me by somebody I know. So we just end up selling all of these things that we found. And we weren't there for very long, so I don't think it's gonna be much. It's like 100k. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not super fast, but it's, you know, also for the EXP. But as I said, if you were there with proper gear and stuff, and you were there for a while, you would make some money. Because these sell for city crest piece, 2.5 to 3k each, 3k, 800, 600, 3, like, it's a lot of... It turns into a lot of money, basically. Alright, okay, so that's that. Okay, for the last place, you're gonna have to be level 124, and you're gonna have to have done a quest chain. But you're gonna probably want to do it anyway, because, well, it's like the best leveling spot, in my opinion, from level 124 to 150. Some people swear by Angramantis, I do not. I swear at Angramantis, if anything, because I think they're a huge pain in the ass. Now, for this, you want to use any form of armor is fine, really. Shield-wise, you'd want to have a from Bigfoot shield, so it's against the brute. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I'm not mistaken anyway. I'm not sure if I have one of those. Well, I should, or I used to anyway. Anyways, having said that, let's go there and I'll show you, and then after that we can start going to places which is for, I was gonna say real money, but no. Places for materials and the things that a lot of other people wish to see. So in order to get there, you need to have a, that I've apparently put in my storage. So sorry about that. See if I can find it. It's called a Light of Elder Castus, I believe. One of these, and then we need a Ring of the Wise King. There we go. Right, okay. So you need Ring of the Wise King and Light of Elder Castus to get there. And you need Fire Element. So let's just go to Elder Castus. Now, this is the New World stuff, so keep in mind this is for 124 and up. Well, you don't have to be, but to do the Scaraba, you should be 124, because otherwise they give you no XP at all. Some random stuff here. Right, so you're gonna equip the teleport flip. Now, you wanna go from Eldicat, you wanna go south, and then you wanna go into this dungeon place here. And up in here, then you wanna go to this place here. Where the cursor is. Eventually. Now, right now we have a double spawn event down here, so yeah. It's not gonna be the normal amount of mobs, but don't worry, we'll make do with it anyway. Not gonna be here for long, just gonna be here for a few minutes to show you that it's actually worth money. Now, in order to get down here, you actually have to have the Ring of the Wise King equipped. You talk to this vigilante guy. Now, if you have a deviling, this place is great to use it. I assume you don't, but some people do. Right. So, you equip the things that you want to use. I'm gonna pop some buff foods just for the sake of... Now, they do this net thing, which is fairly annoying, but So you can drag, like, there's a lot of them here, and they give a lot of nice XP. And then you loot these antler helms and rake horn helms. Now the cards, not really valuable. Server's flooded with them. But the regular loot and the EXP is great. If only there was a way. Alright, I'm not going to teleport, that's cool. Yeah, as you can see, there's a lot. Okay, yeah, as I said, I mean, since we do have a double spawn event right now, I guess that would make it even more worth it, both EXP wise and loot wise, because, well, now these helms, a lot of people, I see them just leaving them on the floor, right? Big mistake. I mean, I must admit I'm guilty of some things myself. Kill these. Now there's an MVP down here as well, but she's usually dead, and if she's not, then she's not that dangerous, really. The thing is, I think Magma Dungeon is probably the friendliest place for you to be. Actually, we're just gonna do this, it's faster to teleport. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, it gets a little bit crowded with this event. But it's okay. Now, granted, again, don't worry about the damage I'm taking. It's way more than most people would be taking. I'm not really wearing any gear. There are a lot of people leveling down here. Because, well, as I said, it's a great spot to level. But they leave the loot on the floor. A lot of the time, anyway. Guess you could just go in here and just loot. Well, that wouldn't make any sense, so you might as well kill it. Now again, if you had a proper shield, Rightward Hat, or Majestic Evil Horns, Bloodsucker, Hunterfly cards, you name it. Or just a Sarah, that would work too. But yeah, the EXP here is fantastic from 124 up to 150 when you can get Nightmare Clock Tower. This is where I usually level my things. A lot of people seem to think I level very quickly, so, well, you can choose to follow my advice or not, that's completely up to you. Oh god. Now, I can't tank all of this, I'm just gonna do this. Right, okay, so we've been there only a few minutes. Just gonna kill one more pack and then we're gonna go back. I'm gonna see the money that we've made. Right, okay. Now, they also drop ancient rough runestones, which you can sell to players for, I don't know, 100k maybe. It's not that much. So yeah, this was the last one, and now we're gonna actually move on to materials. Things that you can sell to other players. Now, if we look at the things we made, just that tiny amount of loot was worth 75k. Might not sound like much, but if you're properly doing it, and not what I was doing, but actually doing it, you can make a lot of money. But yeah, those three spots for selling and vendoring, but as I said, vendoring is very slow compared to selling stuff to other players, but this is just an alternative way, and it's also to give you a heads up while you're leveling, pick things up, because it does amount to Zeny. Okay, so that was the boring part of this video, I guess. Now, I have an entire list of stuff that I want to go through, that how much it's worth, where you can find it, and what it's useful for. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So, the first thing on the list is quest items. Now, these are the Mora quest items. Now, the Mora quest items is basically things you turn in for Mora coins. Now, I would not advise to sell these to other players, but actually farm up a stash for yourself. So you can turn them in and get Mora coins, and then use the Mora coins to enchant stuff and then sell that. Because the items themselves are only a couple of K. Like skeleton bones, mementos, insect feelers, scale shells, venom canines, and rotten bandages. Now, there's also immortal hearts, but I would actually sell those to players instead. But if you farm up some of these, I will leave it in the description of this video, where you can find them, which mobs and where they are. So yeah, you keep turning this in. You can turn in 2 of these a day per character. And then use the Mora coins to buy equipment. You can also use it to buy, say, White Wing suits, like the White Wing set for Rangers, the Nab set for GXs, set for RKs, and so on. And then sell that or use it on your characters as you please. That covers the Mora parts. As I said, you really shouldn't be selling these to players. You should just be using them instead. Moving on to things that you actually want to sell to players. I'm just gonna get some stuff. Now, the first thing on our list is gunpowder. Now, gunpowder is wanted by a lot of players. I think it's gunslingers or something like that, probably. So, there are 2 places to farm gunpowder. We're gonna visit both of them. The first one we're gonna go to is Turtle Dungeon. Now, in order to get to Turtle Dungeon, you have to go to Alberta. And there's a tiny pre-quest to actually get there. The pre-quest is in the top left corner here. You just go and you talk to this old man about the Turtle Dungeon, and then you can go and teleport there. There's actually more than just a gunpowder in Turtle Dungeon, so we're gonna have to... I'm gonna see if I can cover it while we're there as well. You talk to this guy here. How can I get there? And then you have to pay a fee of 10k. It's nothing really, it's definitely worth it. Now, as we're going through the Turtle Dungeon, I'm just gonna bring up loots worth mentioning. Out here, nothing, because this place is just... Also, fun fact, it's shaped like a turtle. For those of you that didn't notice. Anyway, so you're going to level 1. Now, I would not farm level 1, because, well, I mean, it's not really that many exciting things. I mean, there's parameters, and there is... But if you choose to, you have red herbs for whatever reason. Now, there's the freezers. Freezers are one of the reasons we are here, but you shouldn't farm them on this level, because there's few and far between. So we're gonna go to level... Of course, we port to a place with tons of stuff. Just gonna kill this. Now, I'm not greeding here because there's no point. The things you're looking for is basically materials for buff foods, right? Well, not just buff foods, but okay, let's just go down to level 2. Level 2 is down here in the middle. If we get there, eventually. Okay, close enough. Element-wise, they're all different elements. I mean, you can use an angeling armor if you have one to reduce all magic damage taken. Now, this is level 2, this is where it starts getting interesting. Now, assaulters, they can drop something called destroyed armor, which you can sell to other players. The destroyed armor is worth 15 to 20k. And it drops from assaulters, basically. Freezers can also drop things that we want. Let's just move on to level 3, it's easier to get more mobs. Right, level 2 is level 3, now just stay away from the middle. Again, this is shaped like sort of a tortoise. As you can see, there's both heaters and freezers. Now, heaters drop the gunpowder, and freezers, they drop ice piece. And the assaulters will drop the broken armor that we're looking for. Now, there's burnt tree. I know some people enjoy that, but I just don't. Where's all the mobs? Okay, so basically, EXP wise, level 90 to 95, there we go. Destroyed armor. It's like 15-20k for one of those. I have no idea where all the mobs are, if they're just gathered in one place, or there's something wonky going on with this. Oh, okay, there's somebody else here. Right. Anyways, so you kill these. heaters, like all the mobs here basically, right? Because they can all drop the things we're looking for. There we go, there's a gunpowder. It's like, the gunpowder is worth about 60k. And just destroyed armor. We're up to like 100k something now in loot for just. And as I said, EXP wise, there's actually Eden board quest from 90 to 99 here, so I guess you can do this a little bit earlier. I mean, you could greed it just for convenience sake. There's royal jellies as well. Now granted, you might not be able to AoE in the same way that I'm doing due to the fact that I'm level 175, but even if you kill these one at a time, the drop chances are fairly good for the destroyed, because it's just etc items. It's not any specific like special items really. It's just random drops that people want. So yeah, the assaulters can be hard to hit unless you have good like hit, but so yeah, if you go to the middle, there's gonna be an MVP called Turtle General. He's mostly gonna be dead thanks to certain players who camp him all day long, so don't worry about it. Also, if you see two tombs, don't freak out, there's not two MVPs, it's just people kill him too fast. So before the first tomb despawns, the second tomb appears. Due to the MVP spawning a little bit earlier than the old one disappearing. So yeah, you can just run around here, get some EXP, get some gunpowder, get some... Like, the freezers drop ice piece. I'm gonna see if we can find one to show what it looks like. Now, all of these items we're finding, you should be placing in a vendor or sell to other players through trade. You should not... When I say vendor, I mean your own merchant vendor, not the NPC. Like, we're not selling it to the NPC. Now, ice piece is not the same as ice cube. It's not, this is not ice cubic, it's not what we're looking for. That's not the thing that's worth a lot of money. But yeah, you get gunpowder, you get the broken armors fairly often. The thing is, the ice pieces have a very low drop chance. Like 5%, 4%, something like that. But they're worth like 200k-ish or something like that. Hang on, so if we just kill all of these. Ice piece, hang on, let me see. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it, and then I still have to look at it. Ice piece, yeah, 150k even for one. So if you do find one, that's 150k. But the thing is, if you grind it for a while, you're gonna find all kinds of things. There's also the cards are worth a couple of million here and there. Now, I told you to stay out of the middle, but I am curious by nature. I just have to see if he's alive. I don't think he is. No, he's not. See? Sethilo has met his demise. So, well, made his demise, sorry. So yeah, we're just gonna kill these and hopefully we'll get a nice piece. Now, this is one of those dungeons with multiple valuable drops. Not all dungeons are this good. It also happens to have some EXP as well if you're level 90 plus. In terms of rarer drops, I'm not sure. I don't think there is any really rare drops. I mean, there's the ice piece for 150k each. You can probably even squeeze out 200k from them. Or you could turn them into buff foods. That's also a very... But yeah, so... Just a little bit more and I'll go to the next area. Because we have quite a few places to visit, so... we haven't actually located any ice piece. But we have 21 destroyed armors, say that they're 20k a piece. We have 14 gunpowders, and say that they were what, 60k a piece. So I mean that's not bad for just a few minutes. You can also loot some herbs and some other stuff and some EXP here. So that concludes the turtle dungeon per se, really. I enjoy grinding here, actually I do. Because, well, it's free money. I mean, 10 gunpowder is 600k, so I mean, it's definitely worth your time if you don't wanna, like, this would be the equivalent of like Magma dungeon, but actually faster. That's what I'm saying. You should be selling to other players. You could probably even squeeze out even more Zeny out of it, depending on. Again, for farming, you're gonna want a character who can carry a lot with a greed or with a like some form of mass. But then again, maybe greed isn't really that necessary down here, because we're not looking to get all the stuff for the vendor. You can just pick out the things that you want, like the gunpowder, the broken armors, and the ice piece. Just really wish I could show you an ice piece. Oh wait, I do have one. It looks like this. So hang on, we throw it around. This is what an ice piece looks like. They're 150k each. They drop from the freezer. Also dropped royal jellies apparently. Right. So okay. So that's the turtle dungeon for farming. Let's go out of here. The next one on the list is Einbech Dungeon 1, and that's also for gunpowder. However, it has a slightly higher chance of dropping gunpowder, but it does not offer anything else. So between the two, honestly, I would skip out on Einbech Dungeon, so I'm just gonna delete that. I would just go to Turtle Dungeon, because there are just so many different drops you can get. Now, the next one on the Misc list is Bloody Runes. Now, the Bloody Runes, they sell for 22 up to 50k. I've even seen them sell for 50k, sorry. In order to get there, you need to do a quest. You should probably be 110, 115. They're all demi-human. They all cast tons of different spells. They're really annoying. You need to be curse immune or have tons of royal jellies or holy waters on you to remove the curses and silences, and it's a mess, but I'm gonna show it to you anyway because, well, you might want to do it. So now, to get there without Infinity Badge, if we're in Juno, board airship. Now there's gonna be two here. Take the left one, international boarding, not domestic. It even says like Juno, Islud, Rachel, so yes. The other one goes to Hugel and Heimberg? One of the two. Alright, so you board the airship. Now you can do airship roulette. If there is a portal, you can just run straight into it and hope that you're in the right place. And apparently we're gonna arrive in Islud. Okay, so that's not the right place. Yeah, Alright, so we're waiting to arrive. We're getting off at Rachel. Now, like I said before, please don't ruin the markets for things, like, because you'll be ruining it for yourself as well. If you keep undercutting, they will sell. I mean, I've seen some people who basically they will destroy a market just to make a quick buck, and that's, yeah, okay, you want to make money and it's a free market, that's fine, but nobody gains anything except the people buying. Because all the people who have farmed and are selling will lose money, including you. So don't do it. I mean, just try to keep a, I mean, I'm not saying you should overcharge either, but just try to keep the market fairly steady for everyone's sake. Now, in case you're wondering, a lot of these items that we're doing is for Rune Knights, for the runes. Now, a lot of people play VUE on this server, and they play Rune Knights, so this is why these items are in high demand, and the supply isn't that high. Like, I sold Elder Branches last week, I believe it was, for 150k each, at like 400. Now, normally they wouldn't sell for, according to averages, they're 50k, but all mine sold. It was actually Saturday, it was just 2 days ago, so yeah, last week. But yeah, it's oh, there we go. Next destination is Rachel. Great. Now again, like I said, there's a quest to get in there, but we're gonna do under the pretense that you've done the quest. Because this is, well, it's not for beginners anymore, so you should be third job, but you should be 110 now at some point maybe. Which means you'll have access to a few more dungeons. If not, you can just do the quest and get there. There's a couple of noteworthy, like there's a few rare drops in there as well that you could be farming if you're lucky. Like the cards are worth a couple of millions. Now, I never farm cards for money. The reason for this is that it's way too unreliable. I mean, you can spend hours about getting a card, or you can like do one floor in ET and get 2 cards, which happened on stream yesterday, I believe it was. So you landed in Rachel, and then you just take a left. Here, see, Rachel. I love the way that this is spelled, Rachel. Now we're in the Rachel town. Now normally I would just warp here with my infinity, but well, since we're doing this under the pretense that people do not have infinity, I'm just gonna pick out a couple of berserk bots. Since attack speed reduces the aftercast animation delay. So then you go north. Into this area here. Now Rachel's Sanctuary is huge. Literally, like there's 5 levels, and that's just when you've entered the actual dungeon, whereas before that there's also 1 level. So once you've done the quest, you should be able to enter here. If you're not, then you can start the quest, and well, I can link it in the description, I guess I can do that. So you go in. You should know where to go now if you've done the quest though. Actually, I should know where to go, but... ah, here we go, right. Up the stairs. Since there's no map in here, it's kind of annoying. In here. And here we are. Now, element-wise, since they're all demi-humans, I would probably say just neutral is fine. I mean... I'm not sure if there's another element that would be better. So, looking at the other things in here. Well, the gremlins and the beholders are shadow, I guess, but yeah, never mind. So you go in. Now, we are going to level 3. Now, there's a lot of stuff here. They hit a bit hard. Now, they are demi-humans, so I guess you could just... Now these drop it as well, bloody runes, so I guess you could stay on level 1, should you wish. Now Cranial here is obviously going to be the best. Now these gremlins, they drop Witch Star Sand as well, which is pretty nice, you can sell other players. Now the Isilla Vanberk, they can drop Urseals, and they can drop green barrets, and they drop the bloody runes. Now the bloody runes is what we're after, but honestly, I would not do it on this level. Now depending on what levels you can handle, because the drop rate is just, it's higher on the Agavs. These only have like 20 to 30% and the Agavs have like 40. So, as I said, it all depends on what you can handle. Right, now this map is a little bit annoying, but the cards here, now these are fairly slow, the Isillas. Like they're all not really fast, honestly. As you can see, the drop rates are just not the greatest on this level. So what you want to do is you want to get to level 3, which is down here in the bottom. See, there's still these Vanberk and Isillas. Now, if you're a range class, don't let them hit you, just kite them, and you should be okay. There's gremlins. Actually, I'm just gonna run for it. Otherwise, it's gonna take absolutely forever. It's a pretty cool dungeon. If you haven't been, you should probably... I highly advise visiting it. It has some pretty nice stuff. Right. So here we are at level 5. Now there is an MVP here as well, Gloom Under Night. I do not advise engaging him if you can avoid it. He is incredibly painful. Now they cast spells here as well, these Agavs. So they can be a little bit of a pain to gather up. But it's well worth it, as you can see. They can drop a lot of stuff. Now let's just try teleporting a little bit. Now they don't really have range except for a couple of spells. And you can kill them without too much problems. Oh wait, this is a Swift Agav, yeah. So each one of them will drop the Witch Star Sand, they will drop the Bloody Runes. And there's gonna be the Gremlin thing as well. Now if you... The Hodremlin card is very nice. And these Agav cards are also very nice. So Bloody Runes. These Hodremlins, right? If you get a card like that, it's like 60 million still, or 50 million I believe. Definitely, I would definitely say this would be one of my favorite spots to farm, because the runes are great, the EXP is cool too, and all the cards down here are really good. Now they do agi down, but no matter really. They're so slow, it doesn't really... Now, there's a risk of getting overrun, because certain areas will be extremely populated with these. But as you can see, they try to silence, they do all kinds of stuff. I would definitely recommend either a fire armor or an angeling armor. So say the Bloody Runes sell for like what, 20 to even up to 50k a piece? Now we've been here for what? We already have 33 Bloody Runes. Yeah. Plus all the Witch Star Sand. And then we got some of these. I don't even want to begin to think what... Yeah, okay, watch out for these Seekers. They will steal your SP. They're little bastards like that. And also, as I said, the cards here, like the Agav card is like 20, maybe even 30 million. The Hodremlin is like 50 plus easily. Like, this is easily sold at these prices. The Bloody Runes, they always sell, literally. Like, I mean, I've never been stuck with them ever because they're just so easy to sell. I've sold them at 25, 30, 40k. So if we gather up some of these, now you can probably gather up even more with other classes. So I'm not even using Leech Gear right now, it's just... EXP wise, these are level... Give me one moment. Again, you don't really need Greed here because it's just not... Just pick up the things we want. They are level 128, which means that you need to be 114 at least, or no, 113 to get proper EXP here. Now Gloom Under Night is probably not alive. If he is, just ignore him and move on, unless you can kill him. They also drop Sticky Mucus for whatever reason. There's also a great BGM song down here, underneath the temple. At least I think that's a BGM area, it should be. Now, if you spend, say, an hour down here, you could probably make hundreds of millions, and that's not counting the cards. Just the Bloody Runes, and I believe the Bloody Runes only weigh 1 as well. You can also use the Witch Star Sand can be used to create condensed white potions, I believe. Now, I don't really brew much myself, but I know a lot of people who do. But yeah, as I said, keep an eye out for the cards. The cards are very valuable. I mean, one of those cards, and I mean, you've made tons of money. Say that you find maybe 50-60 million worth of Bloody Runes, and then you find a card that's another 50-60 million, and in the span of an hour you've made 100 million. That's pretty neat. So, we're just gonna, for a few more minutes here, and then we're gonna move on. Now granted, as I said, you do need a quest for this place, but it is well worth the time. Actually, I'm just gonna teleport, see if we can find some more stuff. If we find Gloom, I'm actually not gonna try and kill him, because I can kill him if I have proper gear on me, but I don't, so... I've killed him once, well actually I kill him all the time in Bloody Branch parties, but I've killed him once in this Sanctuary place. But yeah, demi-human shield, definitely. Like, it's so good. Demi-human Valkyrie shield, like a Tharafrog. It's so good. They drop an axe, I have no idea what axe that is. Yeah, and these buggers steal your SP, like I just said. They just did that, so... Ah, screw it. From time to time, there'll be other people here hunting the MVP. Because the Gloom Under Night card is absurdly good. It's like, what, 40 billion? 30 billion? Might even be more, I don't know. I've never owned one, so I'm not really up to date on those prices. But it's very valuable. So if you by some miracle happen to kill him and get his card, congratulations, you are now an instant billionaire. He looks... I have no idea how to describe what he looks like. I was gonna say he looks like Gloom Under Night. I guess that's the best way to explain it. Okay, I feel like we're done here now. So we have 87 of these. Say times 50k. It's not bad at all. Now... EXP wise, you know, it's like 10 of these runes, like 20 runes is a million. We've almost just made 5 million just in runes, plus the Witch Star Sand. So I feel like this is a pretty good place to go as well. Not to mention the EXP and the potential cards that could drop. Alright, so we're done in here. Moving on. Next thing on the list. So I compiled a huge list before we started here, like before I started recording. Okay, now we're back again. So that might not be your cup of tea, you might have other things that you would like to farm. Don't worry, there are things for everyone. Now that place might be a bit too difficult, therefore we're gonna go to Dewata Dungeon. Now I would also advise farming these even if you're not selling them. Like we're gonna go for Eluniums, because Eluniums are extremely useful and they will always be useful no matter what you're doing. Let me just dump off some stuff in my storage first. Oh yeah, by the way, the Bloody Rune, they weigh 1, which means they're very easy to keep many. Like, you can farm thousands, and it will just not weigh you down that much. Alright, let's put this crap in here. Oh, I also found a hat, apparently. Hang on, let's see what hat this is. Because they can drop, what hat was it? Yeah, Barret. 10% from demi-humans, that's not bad. I'm not sure how much these are worth, because I never really sell them. I don't really pick them up. Let me just, so I don't give you misinformation. Barret. Seems to be very difficult to locate on Amity. There we go, Barret. Okay, it's like a couple of 100k. Oh, okay, never mind, it's not worth it. Okay. So we're going to Dewata Dungeon to farm Eluniums now. Now, the mob we're going for is called Banaspaty. And they look absolutely hilarious. In terms of race, they're formless, so Penumena shield. They take extra damage from water. They're fire, obviously. They drop Eluniums. If you're premium, they drop Eluniums at a 30% drop chance. And they can also drop Ruffle Redicont, which is pretty nice, and the Banaspaty card. EXP wise, they're level 85, so from 70 something maybe? 71? There's some other mobs down there as well, but... Here we go. You talk to this guy here, Alberta Sailor. We're at the bottom right of Alberta Harbor. Apparently 1,000 for VIP and 10,000, but 10,000 is nothing, it's like 1/5 of a Bloody Rune. Or 1/5 of an Elunium. Now these, like the places I'm going is in no specific order. I'm telling you the value of the things we're doing and why I'm choosing these places. It's not that the first one is worse than the second one and so on. So this is Dewata, for those of you that haven't been here. Pretty funny little place. Now, you need to go to the top left. There's a Kafra employee here and everything. If I don't recall correctly, this place is a bit of a mess to navigate. Yep, okay, so... I have a feeling that I've messed up. Or maybe not. Okay, right. Right, okay, seems like we're on the right track now. Yeah, so top left here, Banaspatis. Now, they do hallucination, and the mobs down there can break your weapon. So I advise bringing some, like an unbreakable, maybe, and yeah, we're going to the bottom left, by the way, that's where the dungeon is, on the Dewata field. There's these funny bird guys outside as well, I don't know. And this, whatever the hell that is. Hey, apparently they drop stem. What do you know? Learn something new every day. Right. Okay, that is mildly disturbing. Right, okay, so there's apparently a fence to... well, I don't know. So, here we go. Signpost. Istana Cave. In order for just to travel all the world, relaxing. Adventure group. Look up monsters by... oh, okay. There's also an MVP. Oh yeah, there's Amuts in here and Gadgemarts as well. And Butui... something. Okay. Anyway, going in. So, this is what the cave looks like. There's actually an MVP down here. So here we go. These are the Banaspaties. They drop Eluniums. See? Now these weigh quite a bit, but they're also worth money. Now, they're worth like 50k a piece. Now, the Amuts can drop gold. The gold can be sold for up to 1 million to other players. I know this because I sell them myself for 1 million. People tell me they're overpriced and then they go buy them anyway. Because people need them for the god quests and they're needed for Rune Knights as well to spread their buffs to their guild members in Siege. Now, if you want to increase your profits even more for all of these things, I would suggest make a Shadow Chaser or an Assassin. And now, we don't want to use real money, so we're not going to use an Assassin for that. Because otherwise you could rent a pair of wings that gives you auto-steal and attack. But otherwise, make a Rogue or a Shadow Chaser, right? Because then you can steal one item from the mobs and then kill them to get another one, just like it. So if we steal from Banaspaty and then kill it, we could get an additional Elunium. Basically doubling the amount of money we get per kill. Now, Dokubai Horns are not really worth picking up. Because they don't really, they sell for like 80 Zeny or something like that. It's pretty dumb. EXP wise, yeah, like I said, in the 70s. In the 70s, right, okay. Watch out for the Gadgemarts here, these. Like, the cards are pretty nice, but they will put you into hallucination and they will strip your weapon. I'm not sure if they destroy it or strip it, it's one of the two. You loot the Rufforidicons, and you loot the Eluniums. Now, there's a lot of them. And they're very easy to kill. They only have 4.6k health. Now obviously you won't one-shot them if you're level 70, but I used to level here actually. Because, well, free money. They drop coal, which is less interesting really. So, you can kill these Butuyus as well. Some sticky mucus. Oh, they drop rough Elunium as well. Okay, so you can basically get all of your upgrading needs here. I mean, if you're trying to over-upgrade things, this is the place to be. Don't go and buy these things, like the rough Oridicons, for example. If you turn them into a pure Oridicon, you can... yeah, now we're in the upside down world. The wife loves this one, I'm not sure why. I think it's absolutely annoying. So, you kill these. How many have we gotten since we got here? Right. We have 13 Eluniums, so that's 750k. Rough Oridicons, that's another couple of 100k, so it's like 1 million in just a few minutes. Easy peasy. Now, this is how would you farm billions? You don't. Like, you can farm hundreds of millions doing this, but you can't really farm billions per se. Like, the closest you can get is putting in a lot of time and effort. But we're gonna get to that, because there's other things you can do that generates more money. This is just basically... yeah, you get overweight here very quickly. For various reasons, because the Eluniums weigh a lot. They also drop Flame Orb, which is decent. Alright, so that covers the Eluniums. I'm gonna go back to the town. Now, the next thing on the list is light granules. Now, these are in high demand because they're used by the Rune Knights. Again, they're like the dominating force of the market on the server. So, now, in order to understand how to make money, you basically need to understand a couple of things about how a market works. Now, supply and demand is a concept that a lot of people might not know what it is, and it basically means... you might know what it is. If so, I'm sorry for explaining this again. It basically means if there's a lot of people looking for the same thing, prices will go up if the supply is low. Now, this means it's a great thing to farm. However, it can work the other way around as well. if 1,000 people see this clip and you all start farming light granules, and then you all start selling thousands of them, and then you start price warring with each other, they will not be worth a bloody thing. So, you know, just use your logic and common sense, really. These are just suggestions, these are by no means absolute. There might be better places to go, there might be better things to farm, but, you know, I'm helping you as much as I can here, so, you know, bear with me. Right, why am I over 90%? Okay, there we go. It's fine, we're on 89%, that's all fine. Okay, so light granules, now this is when it starts getting a little bit painful. Fap time, what? Okay, I would suggest a Dragoon Shield, and you're actually gonna have to do a pre-quest for this as well, and just because we're going into the Abyss Lake. In order to access the Abyss Lake, you need 3 items, which are, if I can find them in my storage, you need a dragon skin, and you need... No wait, it's one of these 4, and then you need a tail as well. Okay. I think it's tail, canine, and scale, but I'm not sure. It's one of these, like, we'll see when we get there. So, in order to get there, you need to go to Hugel. Now, the quest isn't actually a quest, it's just you need these items to access the dungeon. So anyone can go there if you have the items. Now, you can loot the items when you're doing Magma, so, which is why I said you could hang on to them and use them to access the Abyssal Lake. Now, you want to take the right one, the domestic. Einbruch, Lightsheitzen, and Hugel. Now, Hugel is a great place as well because it's like the party place or whatever, and you can buy Mastella fruits there from a vendor. That's where I usually go to stock up. I buy like 30,000 Mastellas a week. Who's this? No idea what that is. Next one is, you know, oh god, we probably just missed it. We're gonna have to wait. Now, this is one of the perks of having VIP, is that you can use a warper and you don't have to do this. But again, we're under the pretense that you're not interested in spending money, so... Oh, this thing reminds me of World of Warcraft, when you had to fly using flight paths. It took absolutely forever. Didn't know there was NPCs here. Ah, sweet, the next one's so good. Okay. I did warn you that this is gonna be a long one, so... We have... this, 1, 2, 3, like 4 more places to visit. And then there's gonna be a lot of explanations as well. Oh god, I've cat hair in my eyes again. Terribly sweaty. It makes me look really strange when I'm trying to poke my eyes out with my fingers. Trying to get the cat hair out. Those of you with cats, you can relate, I guess. There we go, now we're in Hugel. Now this place is extremely painful. Because it's high level and it's annoying, and... I mean, I would advise against this unless you are geared and fairly high level. Or if you have a friend, like if you bring an Archbishop, like it will be a breeze. Somebody to heal your ass or give you a Samtio. Otherwise I would recommend like a Dragon Shield, because I'm lazy right now using Resistant. Raedric immune bravery, like the Raedric immune, like, sorry, let me try again. The bravery bag with the Raedric card is like one of the greatest investments you can make because it offers you so much. Anything from greed potential, tons of stats, and well, it looks pretty cute too. And it offers you a lot of protection as well. Like with the Raedric card, and you have 90 vitality, then it's 30%, and there's no drawbacks. Okay, so you go from here you go south, and then you go west, and you end up here. Now the entrance is in the middle. You cannot access it, however, until you've done the pre-thing, and the pre-thing is just in the north. Here. So you go to the north here. If you look at where I'm on the map, you go to the west a little bit. There should be a pillar. There we go. Now, as you can see, there's a little bubble here. If you click on it, 3 oddly shaped grooves on the surface of this column. So the dragon body parts fit. Insert dragon body parts. Dragon scale, dragon tail, and I know what the last one was. Okay, so it is scaled, tail, and canine. So this is when you enter. Now I caution. This place is painful. Now there's a fair, like we're going to level 3, which is in level 2 is going to be in the bottom left. If we ever get there. This place is pretty cool. It's like this dragon dungeon sort of thing going on. Dinosaur dragons. BGM is pretty nice too in the Abyss. EXP wise, I believe it's like 100 and... oh god. 20? Actually, I'm just gonna run from here. Funny thing is here, like these guys actually drop the things you need to enter the dungeon. They also drop these green bee juice and like red and orange bee juice. I have no idea about these. I can look them up. The Penamena drops the Penamena card, which is pretty nice. Now we go to level 2. And while we do, I'm actually gonna check up the level for this. Here we go. Like these Acidus, for example, they're pretty good. So right, yeah, they cast all kinds of spells. Now the level for these mobs are they're 130. So optimal place to go here to level would be like 115, obviously. They can also drop a Cathar called Inverse Scale. We're actually going to level 3. We're not staying on level 2. But the Inverse Scale is pretty good. They can also drop White Wing Brooch. As you can see, this is getting a little bit messy. Whoops! That was not intended. Right. I'm just gonna kill these before we move on. They drop some stuff you can vendor. Mainly we're here for light granules, but there's also going to be treasure boxes, there's going to be all kinds of stuff. Now there is an MVP down here, so careful. Now these ancient mimics drops the light granules, and the golden Acidus drops them as well. And the EXP is decent too. They can also drop immortal no wait, that's not these ones. Alright. These ones drop the light granules as well. Now they use a lot of spells. There's a lot of mini bosses here called these Hydro Lancers. I believe they're mini bosses in here. Now there's gift boxes and there's some EXP here, there's all kinds of stuff. Like the mimics also drops the light granules. Apparently we're lagging a bit. Okay, so the MVP is dead. That's fine. That's good for us. I mean, I usually kill him if I can be bothered, but... Now these golden Acidus, they're the, like, there we go, there's a light granule right there, there's another one, there's another one. The bee juice, I honestly don't know what the bee juice, oh god, there's 2 of these. But yeah, EXP wise, if you're 115, you could go here, I guess. Wow, they have a lot of health. So yeah. Like, these are the main mobs you want to kill, like the Ancient Mimics and Golden Acidus. Where are all the mobs? Are they in the middle here? Or just like standing in a corner somewhere? I very rarely see anyone else down here. Because I guess it's because it's... Oh, okay. Yeah, here we go. There's some mobs. It's a little bit off the beaten path, so to speak. Yeah, as I said, caution here because, well... It's very, very mobby. Which is great. I mean, it fits the Rhino playstyle. You greed, you move on. Now, there are some cards here as well. They're worth a couple of million here and there. Nothing super amazing though. But yeah, it's the light granules we're after mainly. How many have we gotten? 13 so far. And we looted some other stuff too. Now, again, the damage I'm taking does not represent the actual damage here because it could be vastly decreased, like if you're wearing proper gear. I'm just gonna loot this bee juice. Are they all in like the corners or something? Oh, another Hydro Answer. He can drop Immortal Stew, which is pretty nice. Not super valuable, but... Yeah, basically just get a feel for it, how much you can handle. There's a shield. Yeah, so you can get the White Wing Brooch as well from the Golden Acidus. Or the Qatar, which is a inverse scale. Respawn rate seems to be pretty good. I have no idea what... Oh, it's a Stone Buckler. Not worth picking up, they weigh too much. So that's the Abyss Lake, where you can farm light granules. And there's some other stuff too. I have no idea what these beejuice are worth actually. I'm gonna check that up before we leave. Because I've never actually sold any. So I'm just gonna check on the market if people are buying them. Beeju. Now the beejuice are worth... Oh wow, okay. Apparently yellow beeju is 45k. Blue beeju is 10k. Green and red beeju are also worth a bit of money. Okay, so, well, I guess that means you should also be looting this. Okay, you know what? Apparently not. But yeah, okay, so you should loot the bee juice as well then, obviously. Oh god. Genetic is so weak. I really need to wear proper gear if I was to do this. Right, okay, so the beejuice, right? The yellow beejuice seem to be the one worth the most, along with the red beejuice. No, they're also... Okay, so each beejuice is like 10k, except the yellow one, which seems to be worth 45. Okay, so... That's actually... Should add those things to the list as well, these beejuice. Don't have that many though, but I mean... You know, if you're here long enough, they will... Anyway, so that concludes the Abyssal Lake. We're gonna leave this place now. Now, the next thing on the list is Ogre Tooth. Now, Ogre Tooth can be sold all the way up to 75. I've even seen 100k. Now, that might sound like a lot, and it is. And they're also very easy to kill. They're quite mobby, and there's just a lot of people who want them. So... we're gonna go down there and have a look. White mask and suspicious hat, I say. Right, so we're back here. Now, Ogre Tooth is dropped by High Orcs. As you remember, pre-renewal, High Orcs were west of Orc Village. That is not the case anymore. Now you have to go to Aldebaran. Then you have to go through this little Now, if I remember correctly, you need a key. I'm not 100% sure. We're gonna bring one just in case. Maybe it's called basement key. Or whatever, let's just go. So, I think most of you might know where Clock Tower is. What is going on here? Purr. I see. And hit lock. Alright. So you go into Clock Tower. Now this place is a mess. Let's see if I can navigate through here. I believe we're going... Let's see here. I believe the entrance to the... Because we're going to the basement. Like, if you just go north of here, you go up. So, I guess by that logic, we should be... There's some ride words here, just ignore them. There's some punks too. Actually, why am I running? Oh, right, because I'm bad at teleporting, that's why. So hopefully you have better luck than me when it comes to teleporting. As you can see... Ah! Speak of the devil, where are we? Right. Hopefully this should lead us to where we want to go. There's actually another floor we should visit while we're here. I'm not sure which one this brings us to, if it's the 3 or the 2 or... Okay, well actually while we're here we can just visit this then. Now these Arclouze, let's just gather up a couple. There should be quite a few. Like they're faster than other mobs here, so while we're running to the middle, apparently they have some form of issue. So you kill them, right? Now this round shell and the sticky mucus is quite valuable. Like the round shells, they will sell for 10k. Okay, it's not super valuable, but they're easily farmed. Because, well, as you can see, you can just... But I wouldn't advise staying on this floor unless you can't handle the next floor. Because we're going to the High Orcs and there's gonna be Arclouze on that floor as well. I know I missed one, but doesn't matter. So you go in here, I believe, I wanna say you go in here. Then we should go to the orc. No? Okay. Oh no, wait, that is the right place, because you have to... Yeah, okay, that's my bad, we were actually going to the right place. Okay. You have to go to... I believe it's the one to the top right here to get down to basement 2. Like, the clock tower is one big mess. I mean, I played this game for... Okay. Yeah, these elders, they drop worn out magic scroll and elder branches, but there's not too many of them. So if you see one, you should kill it, because it's free money. Angry clock. Actually, I'm just gonna explore. Let's see where this takes us. I know this isn't very informative how to get there, but the clock tower, even I have problems finding my way around it. No, that's the wrong place. Well, at least we can say that that's not the place to go. So bottom left is wrong. I think it's top right. I honestly believe it's top right. We're gonna go and have a look. I mean, this place is great. It has a great BGM and it's so huge and it's, yeah, you know, it's just amazing really. But when you're trying to actually actively find something, it can be quite a, what's the word I'm looking for here? Less of an enjoyable experience. I was gonna make an analogy, but I'm not gonna do that. So you climb up these things here. Okay, let's, I think this is the place to... I'm sorry, what? Did we not just... That was bizarre. No, this is also not the right place. Oh lord. Oh, wait, okay, so maybe it's... It could be that one. I'm sorry, this is very puzzling, I guess. But yeah, okay, so from the first floor, if you go to the bottom there, you can get to the Arclouze level. And then I do think that this is going to be the right one. Look at where I'm now, I'm on the 3rd floor. It's getting to the basement levels that's a bit tricky, so I think this might be the right portal to the basement. See the bottom left of the 3rd floor? I'm confident. Perfect, okay. So here we are. And there's somebody here already. So you can get orcish vouchers here, which is worth money. White herbs, which is worth money. And of course the high orcs, which, well, the high orcs themselves aren't worth money, but the ogre tooth is. Now they will happily follow you around, because they're thirsty little meat muppets. So we kill them, they will drop ogre tooth, and they will drop. As you can see, we killed 3, we got 3 ogre tooth. Now the drop rate is not 100%, it's like 20-30%, we're just being a bit lucky now. Again, see there's Arclouze as well that you should be looting. So spending some time here. Ah, there's a smith. He's leveling, I believe. I don't think he's here for the loot. Now there's Sargons as well, but they're pretty meh. But yeah, you can easily say that one kill, considering say 25% drop chance, each of them would suffer 100k, let's say one kill plus the vouchers would be maybe 30k on average. Which is not bad, I mean... Granted on how lucky you are, I mean, if you wanna be a little bit funny, you can wait for double drop rate event and then, you know. But, yeah. Again, when you're farming these things, and they will sell because people want them and need them, don't crash the market by putting them out for like 20k or some stupid stuff like that. Because you'll make yourself lose money as well. And apparently we can't move. There we go. Alright, there was an orc archer trap. Now, this server does have, to my knowledge, a dynamic spawn rate, which means that the longer you spend here, if you kill fast enough... Oh wait, there's a GX as well. Speed fan version 1.7. Maybe, is he a bot? No, he's not. I hope. Oh yeah, they still do this weird thing. Anyways, the orcish vouchers and the ogre tooth together is just great. Anyway, so this is the orcish, like, where you do the ogre teeth. We have 18 so far. That's like 1.8 million. If you sell them for 100k. Even if you don't, if you sell them for 75k, I mean that's still, we're talking in the millions. Plus the rough Iridicons, which I just didn't loot because, well, I pressed greed and I have too many items. So the card, not really. White herbs, red herbs, yellow herbs. You know, it's all good. There's a lot of... Yeah, the archers are not really interesting. They can drop orc archer bow, but it's kind of meh at best. So you kill all of these. Now they're not very high level. They're fairly easy to kill. There's a lot of them. You can use the demi-human shield here. Because they're all demi-human. Well, not Arclouze obviously, because they're tiny maggoty thingies. So that covers Arclouze for like the round shells. You can get them here as well, on top of the ogre tooth. So yeah, you spend a while here. Okay, we have only been here for a few minutes. 34 of these, let's estimate 2.5 million. Orcish vouchers are great. Another 200k. The vouchers you can complete quests with or sell to players for a couple of k each. So yeah, that's pretty good, I think. So that's this place, yeah. So in order to get here without being a Muppet like I was, you go to the, let's see here, Aldebaran Clock Tower, and then you go up to level 3, and then you take the portal at the bottom left to get here. Alright, so we're going back. Now, we're getting to buff foods. Now, buff foods are, well, I'm gonna call them interesting. Buff foods are interesting, right? Now, the first buff food is Savage Barbecue. They drop savage meat from savages, obviously. Not worth farming. The drop rate is so low. The second one, now this is a little bit better for farming. It's for the... what's it called? Sorry. Oh god. Warg Blood Cocktail. Now the Warg Blood Cocktail sells for like 225k. Now these are genetic creations used for mixed cooking. Now in order to make these, you need 3 Blood of Wolf that are worth about 45k each. And you need... hang on, I'm actually going to show you the items because I have some on me. The Blood of Wolf, right? Very majestic. They sell for 45k a piece. You need 3 of them to create a Warg Blood Cocktail. And you also need Cold Ice. Now Cold Ice is dropped from Gazettis and Ice Titans in Ice Dungeon 3. We're gonna go there so you can see what it looks like. Now we're going back onto the airship. And this is also where you basically can farm the war, like the Blood of Wolf. Now the drop rate for Blood of Wolf is not very high. But it's all good. Well, so you take the left one, you go to Rachel. Nick. Oh wow, it's already 7 PM. I have to wrap this up soon so I can make food. Right. Well, don't worry, we don't have too much to go. We've covered a lot of stuff already. So let's hope we're in Rachel. You know. Bugger. Well. So yeah, you're gonna, like, either you can farm the materials for all of these foods, or you can make the foods and sell them yourself. Either way, it's a great place to make money because they're always being bought, they're always being used by people who PvP, people who VOE, people who go for MVPs, or people who want to... like, I even use them for leveling sometimes because they're so cheap, some of them. Ah, thank heavens. The next destination is Rachel. Okay. We'll be in Rachel shortly. There we go. Right, okay, so in order to farm the materials for the Warg Blood Cocktail, this is Rachel. Well, Rachel Field, we're going north. Now on the way... crap, well... now, the baby desert wolf actually drops the blood of wolf as well, I believe, with a super low drop chance, which is not worth it. I mean, if you want to whack one on your way, that's fine. Right, so you go north. Now, we're gonna get to a field where there's gonna be a lot of snakes. And a lot of these buggers. Now, these guys are not worth your time, they're annoying, they're called hillwinds. These anacondas are not, what's it called? Aggressive, that's the one I was trying to find. But they drop Venom canines. And they're used for the Mora Quests. You can sell them to players or use them yourself. This is the best map to farm them. It has the most per thingy. Per spawns, or whatever you want to call it. But this is not where we're gonna stop anyway, we're gonna keep going. Because we're going for the Warg Blood stuff. Right. Alright, so you see this map here, we're gonna go one more north. Now, there can be an MVP Arclouze on this map. He's not very dangerous. I wouldn't engage him though if I can avoid it. There's no reason to. His card is kinda bleh. I have one laying around that we found. There's a desert wolf. Yeah, this is, as I said, this is not the map. Now, this we're coming to now is going to be a popular leveling spot as well. It's called the Desert Wolf map. I'm sure you guys might be familiar with it. Or maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, so these buggers are fire, which means you want to use water to kill them. Now, they also drop Claw of Desert Wolf. Now, Claw of Desert Wolf... Where the hell are all the Desert Wolves? There we go. So, you can mob these pretty well. They're fairly slow. Well, compared to genetic anyway, obviously. So, you whack them, and then you can loot. Like, there's Blood of Wolf, and there's Claw of Desert Wolf. There we go. Right. So you can do this. Like, leveling wise, they're from level 92, 93. Now, they can drop some other stuff too, like their card, or they can drop a slotted Durga, which is a pretty nice guitar. Decent leveling spot, nice for AoE. Very mobby. As you can see, the drop chance for Blood of Wolf is not very high, but the Claw of Desert Wolf is. But yeah, mostly for EXP, I guess. Yeah, there's another Blood Wolf. But yeah, they're like 45k a piece. So, depending on how lucky you are, how much time you're willing to put into it, they're actually gonna be worth even more if you make them into food. So yeah, that's how you farm the Blood of Wolves, basically. Now, we're actually gonna head north, then we're gonna go into the Ice Dungeon, because there's a couple of drops there that we're gonna want as well. So, that's the Claw of Desert Wolf. They also sell for a couple of K to players, they're used by Rune as well, again. And we have 7 Blood of Wolves, so that's pretty nice. So, if you go north, and right. Ice Cave. Now, obviously everything here is water. So you want to use wind, like lightning bolts or whatever. There's a guild, here's Flips. Alright, so we're gonna use a regular element here. We're gonna go wind. Now, Siromas, they don't really drop what we're after. We're gonna go to level 2, which is in the middle here. Obviously you want to use a water armor. And I'm just gonna use a resistant shield because it's convenient. I'm very lazy sometimes. You wouldn't believe it considering how many videos and farming I do, but I can be lazy if I want to. So you go to level 2. This looks like this. It's a pretty fun place. It's a nice BGM as well. Alright, so we're gonna get out of here. Maybe down. We're gonna look for some mobs. This place is a little bit of a maze, so I would suggest teleporting. Now, Snowier, they drop white herbs, which is pretty nice. We actually need to get to level 3. Now, here's the Gazettis. They are the main thing we're here for. Gazettis and Ice Titans. So if you go to level 3, we'll have even more. We also need Icicles. No! Oh, okay. Right. So, level 3. Now, this place can be a bit scary. The mobs are not very friendly. Now the thing you're looking for, I mean you can do the glacial hearts as well, but the main thing we're looking for here, except I mean there's some decent EXP. You need ice piece, right? Now ice piece, sorry, we need cold ice, not ice piece. There's Mystic Frozens as well. And there's Frozen Rose. Okay, we're having really bad luck with the drops now. You can kill the snow heroes if you want, they don't really give you much, but why not? Difficulty seeing the drops. Right now this is looking like the worst possible place to farm anything in history. Here we go. Ice piece, that's a couple of 100k. I just need to throw some stuff out so I can pick it up. And like I said, the gazettis are the main thing. And these icicles as well. Like they look like this. So you basically just kill everything in here, right? And then see if you can get the... You need ice piece, you need ice crystals, and you need cold ice. There we go. Ice crystal. Looks like that. You need it for making food. Now these can also drop frozen roses, which, well, you can sell them to the vendor, I guess. So that's not too bad. Oh, there we go. There's one of those cold ice. There's another ice piece. But yeah, basically, I'm being a bit unlucky with the drops here. There was a cold ice there, I'm pretty sure I saw it. Yep. Now you can mob these pretty well, because they're, well, they're not the most mobile of creatures. Like the glacial hearts, I mean you can loot them and sell them, I guess. There's also crystal blues apparently drops here from these, obviously, it's a nice game. EXP wise, it's not too bad. That's a solid ice item, okay. But yeah, so basically this is where you can farm the ice stuff, like ice crystal. You can farm, there's also ice piece, obviously. Now the drop chances aren't the highest, but once you do get a couple, it's some money. Ah, there we go, frozen rose. I'm gonna loot this one just for the sake of it. You can sell to the vendor for like 40-50k, I guess. Now this is where you can spawn an MVP. Called Cthulhu Nux, I believe his name is. I don't know, I can't... Okay, so these... you have to keep an eye out for these icicles, because they're actually very... Someone... Okay. Little white herbs. And you might be wondering, but I want to make millions. Oh, here we go, see? The thing is, the road to making hundreds and hundreds of millions, as I've shown you already, there are ways to make quite a bit of money, but you have to put in time and effort into it. There's nowhere you can just go and then loot hundreds of millions in an hour or something. It doesn't work like that. But basically, if you do the things I've told you here, there's one more thing that we're gonna go to and then we're done. So yeah, that's the ice dungeon thing. Now the last thing is the Seroma iced tea. And there's also the Drosera herbs too, sorry, so there's two more things. We're gonna leave now. We've gotten some ice pieces, we've gotten some ice crystals and cold ice. Being very unlucky with the drops. So we're gonna leave here. Now basically, so Blood of Wolf outside, and then you can go inside to get the rest of the materials, and then if you make a couple of the foods, then you can make millions and millions pretty fast. But you will need a genetic. Again, all of these things can be stolen as well, with the Shadow Chaser like this one. You join Nitro, okay. Right. So that's for the Warg Blood Cocktail. For the Minor Brisket, you need beef heads. They can be dropped from Majora's in Glasstime Cave 3. I'm just saying that for reference, but it's so far away, and it's honestly not worth your time, because it's just one drop and the mobs are low level, the cards are crap, so don't bother with it, because they only sell for 60k as well for all that work, and you need 2 of them, so it's just not worth it. So Siroma Iced Tea is the things that we looted for just now. And then we're gonna go for Drosera Tentacles. Now Drosera Tentacles, they can't really be farmed per se, because the drop chance is just so, like, it's just so low. They drop from Droseras by 2%. Now the best place to farm Droseras is basically 1 south of Rachel. So, but it's only a 2% drop chance, but each tentacle is like 200k. So we're gonna go there, and that's gonna summarize this video. There's also Atrocis there apparently. Again, Rachel. A lot of these things is in Rachel. So I really hope that you guys have found this video to be informative and what you wanted. Now we will make one for like the last tier, because this is like mid-tier money making. Let's do roulette. Let's hope that we're in Rachel. No. Well, it was worth a shot. Alright. Alright, so we have to wait for Rachel. Ah! Rymor. It's one of our new guild members called Rymor. Joined yesterday, the day before I believe. One of our happy little members. Yosemite Sands Outfalls. Ah, next one is Rachel, that does. Right, okay, so here we are. So we head into Rachel. Okay, so in Rachel, you take the thingy to Rachel, and then you go to the west, so you enter Rachel. And then while Once you're in Rachel, sorry, I'm getting really hungry, so it's getting a bit blurry. And you go south. Yeah, I know this is drawn out, I did warn you though, but it's just, I'm trying to be very comprehensive. Okay, so this is the best place to farm Drosera tentacles. According to wiki page anyway. Ah, here we go. So the Droseras, they drop... Oh, okay, so we can turn this into a bit of a multi-farming thing, right. So they drop Man-Eater Root, which you should pick up. They drop Man-Eater Blossom, which you should also pick up. And they drop the Drosera tentacles. Let's see if we can find one. You can also kill the Muscular while you're here, like the Man-Eater Blossom and now I'm not sure about farming these per se for the thingy, but since they actually drop the Man-Eater Roots and the stems, sorry, Man-Eater Roots and the Man-Eater Blossoms, I would do it actually, because say each kill is like 10, 12k. There we go, there's a tentacle, it's like 200k right there, if I just looted it. Now, people always want these, right? So, hang on, I'm just gonna... I need one of these tentacles. Level-wise, give me one moment. I'm gonna actually check up what level they are. Let's see, Droseras, they're plant monsters, obviously. And they are level 101, so you could go here at 86, yeah? The Drosera card is actually worth a bit as well. Now the Drosera does drop stems too. And they drop Mandragora Flower Pot, which people will buy as well. So, hang on, let's just... We did find one, but just wanna... the Sticky Poison I wouldn't really bother with, it's just not worth picking up. There should be 130 of these here, I guess. Now again, if you are a Shadow Chaser, you can steal from them, and then there's another Drosera tentacle. Very nice. Yeah, you can steal from them, and then kill them and get another one. So, yeah. So that kind of wraps it up. I know I said it before, but again, like, we appreciate your support so much. We've had some people donate to us and thank us, and we've had some people even subscribe to our channel, and it's just, it's so amazing to grow as a community with you guys, and that you guys appreciate what we do. Spread it to your friends, like, if they want to get into RO, we'll happily take them into the guild. We can give them some starting stuff. Now, if you have any requests or any questions whatsoever to me or to Solemnis, that's completely fine, you can just ask us. We also frequently play with people in the guild. Also, we offer for long-time players, people who've been with us for a while. If they're 160 and above, they can get free leech when we do Bloody Branch parties. Oh, another one. But yeah, so that offers you quite a bit of few different spots to farm at. Oh, don't forget, you should always do your Endless Tower every week and pick up all of these different items that we've been talking about, because you can get tons of them on each floor, and it does add up. I mean, people question me saying that, but I mean, it's just crap. No, not really, because people will buy it, and I mean, again, I'm not saying that I'm like the best player on the server or in the game, or not even the richest, but I'm doing okay. So you can choose to take my advice if you want to. But yeah, don't walk away from money, guys. It's it goes quite fast. I mean, anyways, so thank you very much for watching this clip, and as always, it's been a pleasure hosting it for you. And hopefully I'll see you on the stream or in our guild on European Ragnarok Online. So that's me saying goodbye, and take care, guys. Until next time.